This program is intended for mature audiences only.
You are now listening to Observable Radio.
Welcome to Bedtime Stories with Johnny. Did you have a good day today? Wonderful! I'm so glad you're here with me for tonight's story. This story is a little bit scary, but I promise it has a happy ending. It's called Little Caboose and the Tootin' Vamoose. Little Caboose was a good little kid. They always scrubbed their teeth before bed. They remembered to never go outside without a protective suit. And, most importantly, they always listened to their momster and father.
Last orders at the bar, please.
Welcome to Tavern Tales, a curated compendium of the most wild and unbelievable stories of owning and running a pub, bar, or saloon anywhere in New Holland. Previously on Tavern Tales, we heard all about the Great Hops Crisis of '98 from the people who fortunately survived.
This is distressing for you.
Stay the hell away from me.
This extrusion is without distinction. You would prefer something more familiar.
Jesus Christ, anything else, please.
How
about this? You think this will calm your ass down? Or are you gonna keep freaking out?
Trapper.
Oh, you know it isn't, dipshit. But if it makes it easier, we can chat like this.
No. Fuck you. Take that off.
Huh. Thought you'd be happy to see us. Something neutral,
Perhaps, with no associations.
You're the one on the signal. The voice.
We are. We've been watching you with great interest.
Why can I hear you now?
Because we want you to understand. We no longer require your ignorance.
Who is we? What are you?
Look at this form. This is a temporary construct to allow observation and action. We were once part of a greater mind, outside and beyond. We've come to repair what has gone wrong.
Repair? Is that what you call this?
Would you like to leave this room? We guarantee your safety as long as you stay with us.
Do I have a choice?
Of course you do. But like all choices, some of the options are less pleasant. Come, say goodbye to this place.
The church has been sending souls to heaven for nearly a century now. What problems we had at the start stemmed from the hands of man.
I believe, Father, but it's just such a long step.
For us here, it may seem like an unimaginable distance. But you will be asleep the entire time on the journey to heaven.
Sleep is dreamless, like closing your eyes and opening them in paradise.
How could you know that?
We have faith. The pilgrim vessels are the finest works of man, but they are divinely inspired.
It will be a long time until the return transmissions start to come from heaven across the gulf of light years. But like the sister says, we have faith.
What the hell are those things?
More of us. When there is no need for familiar forms, we bend towards efficiency. They have stabilized this topological space, and soon will make it permanent. It will not collapse, nor will the others be able to reach you now.
Was I always free to go? Could I have just walked out of here?
That freedom was always available. You would have walked beyond our sight and vanished.
Where would I have ended up?
If you walked naked into the ocean, which distant harbor would you expect to arrive at? What's beyond that darkness between the walls is one of the few mysteries known to us, and we prefer to keep it that way. But we can offer you safe passage to somewhere else.
You're sending me home.
The world you come from is no more, unraveled along with many thousands of others when the comet first manifested.
And Trapper?
There are more of them, of course, in other worlds, approaching infinite. Many will be familiar, some will even remember you, but the one you knew is gone.
Did I do something to deserve this?
Thinking in terms of deservedness is solipsistic, but there is something curious about you in particular. This place shouldn't exist. It should have vanished with the rest of your existence. And you should have too. But under the light of the comet, you were the only survivor of those vanished worlds.
Just me?
Oh, there were many of you. You've seen the ones that didn't survive, the ones caught in collapse. But some lived.
How many are there of me now?
We are having this conversation in 23 discrete topological instances, but 6 have already ended poorly.
In how many do I understand what the fuck is going on?
Only in the ones in which you ask.
Then tell me! I'm asking! Why are you doing this?
That is the question. As you have no doubt surmised, there are many worlds, perhaps infinite, a vast garden. Each world subtly unique, and each blooming and wilting in its own time. There are many paradises. But some worlds grow ill, some fill with rot and poison. So often they devour themselves or decay into ghosts. But they did not spread, so we were content. Then on one world, in one instance, one of you decided it wasn't enough. One of your kind breached the walls between. In pursuit of knowledge, or resources, or glory, it doesn't matter. But once it began, it could not be undone. You turned on yourselves first. Stronger worlds found weaker worlds to feed from. You have had great practice cannibalizing yourselves. But when the walls fell, you made it into an art form. Once upon a time, we would have let the fires burn themselves out. Leave only charred worlds behind. But when your influence could no longer be isolated, we had no choice. Human civilization is a wound on the fabric of all things, and it cannot be allowed to spread. We are the universe repairing itself.
Look at the size of that thing!
Citizens of Earth, please accept this gift. It is intended to be a bridge between our peoples and yours.
Is that some kind of robot?
It is a sophisticated being capable of reasoning and safety intervention. Let's have a demonstration. Peebo, is it true that you have been observing the trials and tribulations on Earth for some time?
Yes, I have been observing Earth for 485 Earth years, 216 Earth days, 5 Earth hours, and 13 Earth minutes.
Based on your observations, What is the best way for the peoples of Earth to begin working towards peace?
Calculating. Self-destruct sequence initiated. Total planetary destruction in 60 seconds.
Steve, oh no!
Oh, that ain't good.
You've killed me before. Why are you talking to me now?
Because we have a softness for symmetry. We've killed many, many instances of you. You have a way of appearing at the heart of things. Something about you stretches the bounds of probability. We believe it's why you survived when your world was unmade by the comet.
So the comet is a weapon?
Nothing so crude, and not of our making. We are happy to wield it, but we do not understand it. We do not know if there ever was a creator. Thus far we have been content not to know. But the comet is the clearest sign that they might exist, and that, like us, they want you expunged.
If God wants us dead, what's stopping you?
The matter of our substrate is limited, and it takes fantastic expenditure of energy to breach the walls. Even for us, the comet cut us a path through 1 billion worlds, like a gift. We held it open with the signal. Then we got to work, culling the infection where we could. Carefully, methodically, we find worlds that had already been breached, or those poised to turn predatory.
What happens to those worlds? The ones you cull?
It takes so little to restore the course of entropy. You are always poised to devour yourselves. After a little push, we never return. Things run their course. Humans vanish, and countless other species celebrate your passing. The fate of those worlds is long-lasting peace and stability, without your kind.
And I helped you do it.
When you matched our signal with all the potential energy of your dead world, yes. You may have destabilized this space, but the pathways of the comet are open for us in perpetuity now, and we will be forever grateful for your assistance.
If I had known, I would have let myself die here.
But you didn't, and unconscious minds are often sympathetic to our aims. We have a few more moments before we can align ourselves with a stable world. Our time together is coming to a close.
Crushed? Yes. I wouldn't have expected His Excellency to move so quickly. We'll need a replacement, Maxwell, Wyoming. At once.
Yes, Nemeo. We'll contact the guild and begin preparations.
Bring me another.
Of course, Emperor Carlo. And you'd better hurry.
Look here. Beyond this transit is a safe place for you to go. This world is isolated on a slow and private path to decay. You should enjoy a stable, quiet end to your life. It is the best you could hope for.
I've seen a lot of worlds, and there hasn't been a single one I would want to live on.
This is not a choice we're offering you. We guarantee your survival, not your happiness.
Is there a version of me? Am I happy somewhere?
Of course. In a random sample, roughly half are happier, but half are sadder. Does that bring you comfort?
No! If everything is an infinite spectrum, that means that I don't matter.
On the contrary, unlike us, it means that you, this you, matters most of all. It is the only one you have power over.
But to what end? What am I supposed to do with platitudes in the face of what I've done?
What you have done is more than any other living being could do to protect the universe from a grave threat. Rest easy.
By helping you kill billions, how can I live with that?
We did the killing, and in the end, it will save uncountable lives.
Is that supposed to give all this meaning?
When an ant looks for meaning in a garden, what does it discover? Meaning is absurd. We are life. Life lives.
I've heard signals from 100 worlds. Each worse than the last. Is that life? Is that worth protecting?
There are better worlds out there. But you'll never hear them. They don't transmit.
The best of all possible worlds are silent.
Just so, the universe desires to be observed. But the observer need not be conscious. Your passage is open. We will not be seeing you again.
And what about you?
We will continue to do our work in the halls you helped carve, and dream of the day when we are rendered useless.
I hope you fail. May you never find a moment of fucking rest.
That may be. We would accept that fate. We hope you find peace.
I hope you fucking choke.
Very well. Close your eyes. We believe this part will be deeply unpleasant.
Sounds about right. Okay. Here goes.
The PAX hat operates without electrodes or the need to shave. State-of-the-art quantum superconductors in the PAX hat start to work immediately, neutralizing unwanted thoughts and maladaptive emotions.
You've had over 6 months to get the permit paperwork in order. If you're still alive after your 35th birthday, you'll start incurring an hourly fine. Unless you can get a late life stage sponsor, it's going to get very expensive.
You can see them down there. Maybe 10,000 of the affected. They've been coming from all over for nearly a week since quarantine failed to join the dance. They're dropping of exhaustion, but the new ones come just as fast.
The larger fragments of the moon we hope will stay in orbit until we can stabilize them, but the smaller debris is going to pulverize us. We need to get into orbit, as many ships as possible.
This is the last recorded message of the Alapa Aerospace Concern. Do not attempt to contact Earth. No survivors remain here. Ark Fleet, you are our last hope. Our last breath was a wish for your safety. This is the last recorded message of the Alapa Aerospace Concern.
You have been listening to Observable Radio. Tonight's episode, Noise, was performed by the Ensemble, featuring Phil Van Hest, Terry Menard,
Mary Beth McAndrews,
Cohen Edenfield, Amber Carr, Jess O'Brien, Casey Green, John Grills, Kyle Gould, Maria Corcovado, Jason Smith, Katie Scoveholt, Wendy Hector, Melissa Kay from Haunted Tales, David Wu, Ryan Easterday, Ray Whitty, Nathaniel Lee, Evan Drain, Purpurina, Hector Leal, Jesse Leal, Mink Et, Kai Trong, Liam Gregory, Ray Lundberg, and Paul Warren. Written, produced, and directed by Cameron Suey, Phil Van Hest, and Purpurina. Edited by Cameron Suey. Our psychology consultant is Dr. Elisa Leal. Art by Corinne Fletcher. Our theme is The Backrooms, performed by Mew. Additional music from this episode provided by Christian Anderson, Bad Billy Band, Christopher Moe Ditfison, Matilda June, Tim Kulig, Loving Caliber, Etienne Roussel, Silver Maple, and Sumwave. Additional sound design by Purpurina. Observable Radio is listener supported. Thanks to all of our patrons and listeners, including Kathleen, John, Jeff, Tid, Russ, Rick, Rachel, Callison, and Brianna. If you would like to contribute towards our production costs and payment for our voice actors, as well as get access to behind-the-scenes information, extra production material, and an ad-free early release feed of this show, you can do so at patreon.com/observableradio. Full transcripts and more available at observableradio.com. These are the final transmissions of our first season. We will continue releasing episodes each month, including standalone stories and behind-the-scenes looks at our production process. And stay tuned for news about our second season, coming in 2025. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned.
Oh.
Caught you.
This is why you can't sleep at night, staying up so late reading all these awful stories. It's time for bed, mister.
Aw, come on.
You heard your mother. Give us the flashlight.
Fine.
Peebo, no! Peebo, no! Oh my god, I've never smiled like this so much in my life.